And there's a couple of really fast target times that they've set themselves. Sub 7 minutes for 16 to 17-year-olds. Really impressive. So we referenced the junior women. We also have a Heat 1 of the junior men. But we have the top athletes in the junior men racing in the second heat, which is coming up right after this race. So we stop rowing so that the flywheel stops spinning. Yep, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The start of the women under-19 race, as well as the first heat of the men's under-19 race. We referenced them before. Taylor English, Alexander Fuster, and Aleska Podrazil. That's the three rowers we're looking out for, because look at those times already. We saw 1:38 in the early stages of this race. We're talking about junior women's rowers here, but we're also talking about the absolute best of the best junior women's rowers we have on the planet.
Exactly. This is such a great sport for young women to get into. I would say this is almost like the gymnastics of endurance sports. Pretty much if you can build your capacity in rowing, you can do any other sport, or you can continue to row.
Exactly. 144, 145, that's what we're seeing. And the three athletes that we identified in the early stages as one of the favorites to take the title or the medals, because obviously we're racing for medals here again, for the World Rowing Championship medals. That's these three. We have Taylor English on the left, currently in the lead, and you have Alexander Forster on the right, the German pedigree.
And what an opportunity to be sitting next to somebody from another country. Typically, women at this age only get to race next to their local clubs. So this is an amazing opportunity to be able to push yourself harder than you think you can go.
Yeah, currently English and Foster, it's only 6 meters between the two of them, 5 meters now. And Podrazil, he's not even that far off. As the race between those three develops, we see here the current leaders, which is sort of the time they're being set. That's the time that the next race has to chase. So we're keeping an eye out for what Troy Scheer and William Med are actually doing. And that's the time that the next heat has to beat in order to crown themselves the World Rowing Indoor Champions. So Sharon Mid and also Iliopulo in the top three of the under-19 men. But the race is heating up there with English and Foster and also Podrazil and Graves and Garcia. Let's mention the 4 and 5. They're right on the heels of Podrazil, one of the star athletes that we've identified.
It looks like the top 5 athletes are very close. They're all in the range next to one another. There's nobody pulling away right now.
Was still 130, 145, 146 now for Foster. She's still about 6 meters down, and the gap towards Podrazilova, Gabriela Graves, and Monica Garcia of Mexico and the United States, respectively. It's growing a little bit each stroke, but it's Foster who's sort of latched on to the pace that Taylor English of the United States has set.
You can see they're at the same stroke rate. English might be a little bit quicker at 31-32, but typically when you erg next to someone or race next to someone, you fall in line with their rhythm as well.
So there you have it on erg number 10. That's Potasilova. Right to her left, that's Monica Garcia of Mexico. And then in the middle with the red uni, with the black and white stripes diagonally across, that is the current leader of the pack, on her way to a possible gold medal or world championship title. Taylor English of the United States. 8 meters now, and we're getting closer and closer to the decisive point in the race, where Alexander Forster has to decide, can I still hold on to this blistering pace being set by Alexander Forster? And in the meantime, at the junior men's department, William Med is opening up a considerable gap there.
You can also see the person next to you's screen, so they're able to see each other's scores and compete next to the people next to them.
Is 11 the magical number today? Is 11 2 times number 1 for Taylor English? Because that's what it would be. Not only world champion, but also United States rowing champion, obviously.
And you
2
have
times
to do
1 makes
2K.
11. Yeah, this is impressive. Taylor English still in the lead, 144, 145. But Alexander Forster is not giving up. We're almost eking into double digits. 10 meters, that's the gap. But that's a decent sprint. Pick it up a couple of notches and you're there. And both of them are on target for a time sub 7 minutes. They're aiming for something close to 6:55, maybe even 6:54 at the moment.
Which is phenomenal. That is such a great pace to be at, especially at this level.
9 meters still, and it's 144, 145, and still Potasilova in third place, and Graves still chasing. It's only Garcia of Mexico who's finding it a little bit too hot to handle here in Long Beach, California right now. There you have her in erg number 9. You can see that you can see on her face that she's struggling a little bit to keep the pace up. And here you have it. Here's the attack coming in from Alexander Forster, picking it up to 144, 143, closing up the gap to 7 meters. Is this the German strategy that we've been waiting for in this under-19 women's race? And can Taylor English on her home turf here in the United States, can she bite down?
Can she bring it up?
Can she defend her reigning position?
We're in the last 500 meters, and it's all about sitting up and putting everything on. There's no time to think here.
16-year-old Taylor English on the left, 17-year-old Alexander Forster of Germany, and she has the momentum. You can sense it. As you can just see her. You can just see her glance to her right, and the smiles on her face. Alexander Forster of Germany. She knows it's in her reach. She knows she's going to crown herself world champion if she keeps this up. 142. It's getting bigger and bigger, the gap, and it's now Forster of Germany ahead of Taylor English of the United States.
Alexandra did a great job following her race plan. Even when the race doesn't go according to plan, you can still bring it home and get some of your best scores at the very end. So you can see English is bringing it back up again.
Yeah, this is impressive, but look at that smile. It's almost contagious on the face of Alexander Forster, because this is not pain. This is just, she's enjoying herself right now. This is the victory lap. If she could run in circles with this erg, she would probably do it, because she's picking it up still. 143. She was aiming for a 6:55, and what's she ending up at? She's ending up at a 5:56. Really impressive stuff by German athlete Alexander Forster, but hats down to Taylor English for keeping it up. And she's pulled below 7 minutes as well by this grit of her teeth, just latching on to that 7-minute mark. And she's really elation there for the early finishers, with Potasilova coming in third.
This is when you can empty the tanks. You don't need to save it for the rest for the next race.
6:56.7 for Alexander Forster. As the results are trickling in, 144.999 on average, I would say, for Taylor English of the United States, just eking herself below the 7-minute mark at 6:59.9. And then completing the podium. That would be 7:08.7 for Ileska Podracilova. And with the boys, let's focus on that as well. The target time is 6:57.7. That's the time to beat for the second race.
William Meade finishing far ahead of his competitors in the second heat.
So Med of the United States having that fastest time at the moment. He's in the hot seats. Has to wait and see what the rest has to do. But what an impressive race by Foster and by English. As we see Marin of Mexico and Nejad of the United States finishing up their race.
The ability to build mental toughness at this age is just phenomenal. You can see these girls, you know, maybe they didn't stick to their race plan, but even if it's not, it still is information. Information for you to get faster the next time. Know what to do, know what not to do.
So last couple of finishers, ladies and gentlemen. Nejad, Christensen, Demirli. Give it up for them. About 90 meters to go for Christensen of the United States. So show your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Put them together for the last couple of athletes still racing. Ergs, number 1 and 22. Last couple of strokes coming in. Christensen across the line, 9:37.4. And Demerlier, Jillian Demerlier, now also into home straight. That's it. There you have it. The results of the under-19 junior women. 6:56.7. Impressive results with an average pace of 1:44.2 for Germany's Alexandra Fuster. We'll have the victory ceremonies in a couple of minutes' time. And I think actually we're gonna join Alex Dunn to see whether or not we can have a quick little chat with Alexandra. And maybe the basic question, Alex, I have is where did she pull that sprint from?
So yeah, congratulations, Alexandra. That was a fantastic race. How did you feel that went? The race plan.
Thank you. Yeah, I just race like every time, so do what I do every day. So.
You were very consistent through the middle of that piece. It was 144s all the way, and then that last 500, you stepped it up, really put the hammer down.
Yeah, in the middle, I didn't want to put up everything and die at the end, so I just stay constant. And in the end sprint, I tried to give all.
And were you looking at that gap, that 8 meters, 9 meters, 10-meter gap, keeping an eye on that? Getting a little bit worried at some point?
Yeah, that was very nice to see. And then I thought, yeah, I'll just do that until no meters are there to win.
Yeah, it feels great when you start to see that coming down in your favor. 7 meters, 6 meters, 5 meters. But fantastic race plan. Congratulations, Alexandra, the world champion.
Thank you very much.
Wow, what a great sport. And I cannot get that smile